Man, this is really a shame. I'm pissed 4400. This is pissed 4400's think tank. Wherever the fuck's on my mind. I put out the same way as that blood that titty bitch gets when she has a goddamn motherfucking period. Hello, how you doing, everybody? I just want to say this is sad. Here's an episode of Gorgeous George that could have been a little bit interesting. Everything was just, this guest was kind of interesting. I mean, some of the things that she say as far as relaxation and the attraction is actually true. On George's side of things, his law of attraction is if you think rich, you're gonna be rich. It's more than that. You don't just think it, you gotta put motion into it, right? So I'm like the fuck looking on here, and damn, I'm sitting here in daze, and you know, I said, it wasn't much going on in this episode as usual. I mean, this woman could have had a good dialogue with George. He kind of ruined it by spewing out his personal eccentricities, his personal failures, which he didn't really say them out loud to us, but we know that he was doing that. And there's one thing I want to notice too: the old saying, "Good karma. Whatever you do to somebody, it'll catch up to you later." These two guys, Kevin and this black dude, the brother, he, they was talking with this woman, and they both was like a three conversation, and George was left out where for a few minutes where he kept talking to himself, like he kept on talking to the Sarah woman, and she wouldn't pay him no mind for a few seconds because she busy talking with Kevin and I forgot this guy's name, but this brother right here, and I just want to say that he did the exact same thing those 14 years ago when that video was made to Magic Matt. That episode where he talked about that JFK plane crash. Now the shoe's on the other foot. He like, I'm trying to be serious here, and I'm trying to, ask this question about, you showing me the way. I mean, like, what way about it? She just gave an answer to relax, sit back, think. You know what thinking equals to action, meaning that whatever the fuck is on the mind, it comes out as it is in action. You are what you eat, or you are what you think. It's either way. It's the same concept. And basically, it was all about him, the one-sided man. I would love to hear more of this woman's intellectual dialogues regarding her personal parts of her personal situations as far as her spiritual life and other things, because she really looks like one of those people that are obviously decent people, few decent people that you see of the Gorgeous George show. And it's a shame that he ruined it by keep blabbering about something, and then she's like, I think the answer you already know of, as far as, knowing the way and all this stuff. And, just a waste of time, this video. This video here, it's a waste of time. I mean, and the only thing that was good in this video was her singing. And it was one of those kinds of songs that you can like relax into. And I was really getting into that until it was cut short. And I really wish it could have lasted longer. The only reason why it didn't last long because when George was at the last minute of just getting this woman to sing what I think she could have just sang first, and then sat her butt down, and we could all deal with this boring crap that George spews out from his brain that is so corrupted. Here's a woman that probably could have did you more of a favor than mostly anybody or most of the people that you came in contact with, and you kind of just tossed it down the side, focus on more of this attraction, and then you even said you was going to do a second taping of this woman. Never saw nothing, just this one taping, and the 1999 one, but it was supposed to be another 2013 one, but it never happened. It's always the gut ones. It's always the gut ones that has a barrier because of bad people like George and other. Just not just George, just certain people in general. God damn. And I really would love to hear this woman sing, because I was relaxing until all of a sudden everybody said the time was up and hearing Gorgeous George, and I'm like, oh God, you ruined it. You ruined it. And I actually tried to look up this woman on the internet. Like they're supposed to. Kevin announced SarahWest.com. I tried to look up that site. That site is not. I don't think it's even available. I would love to know how to get in contact with her, because I would have done a much more better interview than this man would have done. And I don't know nothing about public or anything. I'm not good with people. I'm not good with social interaction. And I'm not talking about media or public. I'm talking the GDMFT period on my personal eccentricities. But if I was good, if I didn't have the problems of making friends, if I didn't have the problems of learning how to deal with people and other deficiencies, I would have definitely tried to get this woman to be on a show that I would have. And it would be a lot better than the public access or pubic access, and I'm not attacking the public access industry itself. It's just this pubic access show that just you kind of you see something that's a good rhythm, George, and you basically take it and you diminish it completely. I mean, goddamn. Like for an example, I contact you, right? I wanted to get to know your situation because you were sincere. You seem like a sincere person that seemed like that you made a lot of sense in a way that you and I had something in common in terms of dealing with people as far as the problems on the internet. When I found out about some of the things that I have noticed and performance by myself, and this is nothing to do with no one else but myself, I said to myself, this guy ain't much of a private investigator, and he ain't one. I said, this guy is full of shit. This guy is full of crap. And the funny part about it is that some of the people that I didn't really believe, as far as the ones that have been commenting and stuff, I just would sit there and I would do searches in a way that I watched some of their videos, and one of them I watched a video response to somebody that was doing a documentary of George Alexander Garrett, and what really interested me was the fact that he talked about this person, Brandon Hardesty, as a hypocrite in a way that he and others used to do the exact same shit that to George as the person that was doing the review about Brandon Hardesty. And what amazes me is that, and I'm not saying this out of complaint, I'm saying this to give this guy more credit. As much as Gorgeous George likes to say that this guy Sean is on the internet all the time, this man is not on the internet all the time. I subscribe to his channel. I look through his activities as far as what's new, any new videos. Ain't nothing. Except the two I saw yesterday. And I want to thank Sean for giving me that video of the Gorgeous George report, I copied it and saved it on my flash drive because I wanted to get that. Because there's a lot of things that you've done as far as editing work that I'm gonna plan on writing maybe some listings down as far as the questions I have, and be able to get that set message sent to you. But just for little information, if anyone could tell me where he get that intro soundtrack when he did that Gorgeous George report, that sounds like a newscaster soundtrack. Let me know because I always wanted to do a Piss 4400 news report. I used to do that, but it just didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I quit it. And it was called Piss 4400 Speaks. It wasn't Piss 4400 Update or nothing. It was Piss 4400 Speaks. It was something I did over a year ago, and I stopped because it really was nothing more but just a rhythm that was the same thing that wasn't improving. So, I mean, this woman could have, even though even though this show really isn't that great, and it really has no purpose of rhythm. You could have, there could have been a lot of light shine on this guest on this show, and one of the things that Kalazar was saying was, you how'd you kept in shape all these years and all this stuff. And the thing is that these are questions that he was asking that was other than himself, other than the show. Everything that George was spewing out was about himself and was about what I want to know. What I want to know. And then when the show ended, she still didn't understand and still wasn't dazed. Obviously, there are some things that I do agree with this woman, as fact as the difference between the yin and the yang, and some parts that she say that you repeating yourself in one part of this video that she talks about the fact that you're repeating yourself, and you know and she sensed that he already knows the answer. But we know that George Garrett is an insecure, high level human being that doesn't seem to know how to operate his own body and his ability as a non deficiency person. Now I'm a person with deficiency issues, and I got better sense than Garrett. And I wish I could switch bodies with him for just maybe 30 seconds or at least a day, and you see another person entirely. I could read, I could have socials, I could do the things I always wanted to do for years. You know, just pissed me off to see somebody that has a higher level, has a brain of a low level. Unlike myself, who's been professing the stuff that we all take for granted for a long hell of a time. Some shout outs here. I did Sean Brennan. The blast from the past fella. We want to shout out to you. You are one of my first people that actually came to my channel. I want to shout out to Captain Corpless. He's one of my faithful subscribers as far as the Gorgeous George stuff. I want to shout out to Happy Snot Hour because he has been somewhat helpful in this one video I did, and I deleted it because the seller actually contacted me, and the only thing he said was it will be refunded, and I don't like the vulgarity. But I did say I was sorry in that video, and anybody with a brain would understand the frustration. Everybody's frustrated in different ways and things, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Let me also say that let me give you a little update here. The seller contacted me and said, "Well, it looks like you didn't format the hard drive on that thing. I'm like looking at this man. I'm thinking to myself, I thought that was your job because it says on his listings, it says on his list that the hard drive has been wiped and formatted where it's ready for use. And obviously, it's not my responsibility to format a drive. It is his. So for him to say that to me was kind of absurd, and for him to say that I'm gonna contact eBay for a review on this. I'm like, what do you need a review for? You knew I'm telling the truth. You see the evidence. Your butt hurt in a way because you know you're doing something that ain't right. And I mean, if you don't refund my $400, I'm gonna leave a negative feedback. Obviously, I'm pissed 4400. This is my think tank, and I see y'all the goddamn motherfucking later. Goodbye now.